past the arena now. You can see just there the tunnel and the ribbons and flags. And we've got, if I just drop them reins on the dash now, all's just go lovely and quiet. He's happy. Come over, baby. Come over a bit. He's a good boy. Just no reins on him at all. Happy and contented. I know we're on a quite bit of road, but well, fairly quiet. But funny enough, this road's quite heavily used. And, then you can get all sorts. So just at one end of this road, we have someone that does welding and fabrication. So you can get Arctics coming up here carrying that and rigid lorries. And the other end we've got Bedmax where the you know, all the bedding's made, and some of them come in this way. So we've got quite a few biggish lorries that use this road. But this is just a quiet afternoon, early, well, yeah, I suppose it's about 5 o'clock now, and we're just going out. Only reason we haven't taken him out before, you know, earlier today, he's such a dark horse, and obviously the sun on him, that's why they paint buildings white in hot countries, isn't it, to reflect the sun away. Well, the same for this little fella. You know, the sun on his back is really strong and hot, you know, on him, uncomfortable. So leave him till this time of the evening. You've got a lot of shadows, obviously, coming across the road, which afford a lot of shade, like down through here. And so he's absolutely lovely. We got him back. I know you'll be able to go and, you know, ride him, drive him with confidence. Girl's coming tomorrow to ride him. But I'm like over the moon with him, pleased with him. Such a nice horse. And I know we've said it already, there's no point in keep repeating it, because it was, but you wonder why ever it happened in the first place. It just don't make any sense. So thank you. So this car here, as you say, I put his nose right on it there. No trouble at all. You know, and calm and quiet. So yeah, I'm really pleased with him. He's a lovely, lovely animal. Walk, walk. So what I'm doing is up this quiet lane. Now, I'm not going to use any of the terrain to my advantage, like some people, what they'll do. Some people, what they'll do is they'll let horse trot up here, for instance, yeah, and it's much easier to stop horse if it looks like it's going to run or get away from you. Much easier to stop it if you're going uphill, because with brakes and your hands and the weight of the carriage being pulled uphill, they wouldn't do it so readily on the flat or downhill, right? So what we're doing, I've just got him on a slack rein, as you can see. Head carriage is nice on the slack rein, and he's got his rubber bit in, nothing else. Now obviously, you being a lady, you might well want to put him in to a, you know, a Liverpool horse. It doesn't really matter what you drive the horse in, it's how soft the contact is and how he'll respond to a verbal instruction, yeah, or a verbal request. I don't really like to say make them do anything or instruct them, but you want to work together as a team. So his job is to provide the motive power, my job is to provide all the instructions of what we need to do. So turn left, turn right, stop, faster, slower, yeah, stand still, wait, junctions, that type of thing, yeah. So that's our bit. And he's the motive power. Well, the motive power is obviously you've got to put oil in your engine, petrol in your engine, oil in it, keep it all right, and as long as we do that, so it can give us the power we want. And obviously the distance you go, he cannot judge that, because he don't know, does he? I mean, obviously, you know how far he's going to go whatever day, so he could do 3 miles or 15 miles, you just don't know. So here we go now. So I'm going to take him up now. Baby, jig, jig, real slow trot, jig, 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 trot. So that one now. Trot on. Cant up. And with my thumb and forefinger, I'll stop him, yeah? Just there like that. Steady. Well, stand my baby child. Stand my baby. Now walk. No, wait till I tell you. Walk. And he's got to walk away quiet, exactly like he was before. So that shows you that he's not going to let you down, and he only has a soft rubber bit. We'll show you the rubber bit he's wearing. This one is not one of our own manufacture, or one we have manufactured for ourselves. It's a standard one because we're waiting for a new batch of our own bits to come in. So we've got him there, you know, doing all that nicely. And he's just laid back, and I don't, all I know, this horse is a lovely horse, and whoever trained him properly, no question of doubt about that. He's respectful, he likes his bit of kindness, a bit of affection. He's not like some of them Andalusians who can't give affection very well. He likes, you know, a little bit of fuss. Not when we're working, but like that. I don't give him any tidbits or anything like that, but he likes to, especially if you groom him, he seems to really enjoy that. We have Riaz looks after all that sort of thing, but she has a stiff brush, you know, a stiffish one. I'd call it a scrubbing brush really. Well, he loves you to go over that and pull his coat the wrong way and rub him all over with that, especially around his armpits, you know, up his neck, over the top of his head. He likes all that, and then, you know, a nice dandy and a wash it to brush him down. Now, we wash all the horses every day, but he does like that, you know, he likes that. And I think he likes the fact that the two of you are together doing it, you know, the actual human physical contact. I think that's what he enjoys as much as anything else. Some owners sometimes say, oh, I don't know if I want someone else to drive my horse. Well, I've been driving it, and then Ree will be driving it, so there's already, but the problem is, if they've also had a problem, little fright or something like that, they can become clingy to me or Ree. You don't mean to say always me, sometimes it's Ree. They just become clingy, so everything Ree says is wonderful, and every instruction's wonderful, and they'll gladly do it, and they build a rapport. The problem is, when they go back to the owner, it doesn't necessarily mean to say that that rapport will automatically exist, especially if the problem happened with the owner. So, for instance, if you had a problem, you know, personally yourself with the horse, you got yourself into a, you know, something, or a car caused a problem, a lorry, whatever it might be, dustbin bag blowing up the road, whatever, and you got into a problem, it all depends how they perceive the problem. And they won't perceive it, definitely not the same way as we do. It becomes a different problem, becomes a monster. It becomes, so if they've looked to you, then that confidence in that person, that when it happened, who was with them at the time, their confidence can wane, can decline in that person. You know, oh, you let that happen. Of course you didn't let it happen. You didn't let a plastic bag blow down the road and hit them on the head, did you? You didn't let a car come skidding round the corner. But a certain amount of, because you work as a team. So as I've always said, the horse is the motive power, and everything else is down to the driver. So if we accept that to be the truth, you know, to keep all safe, confident and happy, you've got to drive it. You've got to sit behind it and let them make any decisions at all. Obviously, if you can understand horse and read horse, you haven't a problem, you know, because you already preempt what they might do or might be thinking. But there's very few people that actually have that. So in some cases you would be, you know, you would think yourself, you know, that, you know, and also when the person unloads the horse and stuff like that, you can often get a good idea of what's what, you know, how the person is with the horse. Now sometimes if the horse has done something, you know, run off with the car, often the people are afraid, also afraid of the horse to a certain extent, they're very wary of it. Well, you know, that takes a lot of rebuilding. So we always think if we've got someone, I mean, I'm sitting here all the time, so I can take charge in a split second to what needs to be done. But a completely new voice, a completely new range as it comes to the end, no bad thing. Then it's had 3 different ones. Rhea and I will certainly swap, and it's not always you've got someone that you're, you know, you can trust. You can see how they are around the horse, they've got the confidence, etc. They might not know what they're doing, but they're taking the instruction from me, left, right, back, forwards, whatever it might be. So we're coming up to a junction now, so I shall take over. That's what I want to do. I want to come up here, up this white line. Steady, baby. Because see that manhole there is real shiny. So I want to come up here and then turn along that broken line so we don't enter the road, but he doesn't hit that manhole because it's been polished away on the top, and they can slide, you know, and just pull a muscle if they don't go down even. So fortunately we've never had any horse go down there. It's only because we're aware that it's there, and it just gets so polished on the top, all the grip and everything is gone. It's not on there anymore. The other thing people say to me all the time, why does the horse lay its head to one side? Well, a lot of horses do that, and if you think about it for 2 seconds, there's a reason for it, you know, there's some reason. So why do they pull towards the centre of the road? Well, if you was to let a cart, just have a cart on its own, with the shafts laid on the ground, yeah, or even if you suspended them up in some way, or even if you removed them, if you had this cart in exactly the position it sits now on this hill and let it go, it would roll into the curb because of the camber of the road. So because of the camber of the road, it would roll to the curb. So if we let it go now with no horse on it, no shafts, got it all dead straight as it is now, let it go, it would run into the curb. So horse spends a lot of his time keeping it correct. I know that sounds silly, but if you was to take one, especially going downhill, which you've got the weight of the carriage pushing on you, you would find that you'd be correcting it all the time to come back to the centre of the road because of the camber. On another section of road, like there's hardly any camber here compared with what it is on that hill. So there's less camber here, but it would still run that way. So often horses will lay their head off to the right slightly because they're pulling very slightly that way. Just all depends how they are. So I like to drive them with their head turned in for a little way like this. So they're going into the camber, but they're still keeping it going dead nice and straight. And got these cars here, that's right. Come on, my baby. And over that way and still be going straight, yeah? So, but this is one lovely, lovely horse. I would be the proud owner of this horse. Just lovely, just a pleasure to have, and you could never find another one with the same temperament and the same laid-back attitude. And for what's happened to him, he's had a fright and that, I think he's come back, I hope at least as good as he was before, but obviously I didn't know him before. But whoever broke this horse and trained it was no fool, and was a kind man, because the horse, you know, I've built a lovely trust up with him. It took a little bit of time, and it took a lot of sitting with him in the stable, you know, just sitting on a chair in the doorway and letting him come to me and just not making a fuss, not giving him tidbits or anything like that, but just in general, you know, come on baby, it's a good boy, and walk now, just walk. So he's a lovely horse. I don't know how you'd describe his colour. I mean, he's almost black. But I should imagine sometimes he looks a chocolatey colour, like a dark chocolate colour. But he is lovely. But it wouldn't matter if he was pink, green or blue. He's beautiful. And horse anybody would be proud to own. And a good friend and a pleasure to own, you know, they're rare. And thank God he weren't messed up, you know. Or at least we've got him back. I'd like to think we've got him better than he was, but I hope we've definitely got him back to where he was, yeah.